All right, Shalom. I want to begin this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect. I'm the brother Yawanathan, back with another quick lesson. Lord willing, is edifying. And this is a still image from the recent Fast and Furious movie. All right, I'm not going to spoil it. This is not a spoiler alert. I'm not going to speak on it because, to be honest, I wasn't even really paying attention. I had the movie playing, the bootleg or whatever was playing. And it was just this one part that caught my spiritual ear. And it was a scene where this guy drove his, it was like a military type of vehicle. It was bulletproof. It was definitely like some type of military or special ops group, this guy belonged to. And he drove his it was like a Hummer, but it was bulletproof. It didn't look like a regular Hummer. It had all type of equipment inside and everything. And he drove it into the back of this cargo plane. The plane was open. It had the ramp. It was parked and it had the back ramp open. And he kind of just drove into it, got out the car. It was like a frantic kind of scene. He's rushing and shit, kind of panicking. And he said, "Get me the God's eye system." And that's when I looked and I said, what the fuck is he talking about? And when I looked up, I watched that little piece of the scene, and it was a Jake. Actually, it was an Israelite, a so-called black man, a Judite that was on the computer. And he turned around and he said, "The God's eye system is down," something like that, it's removed from the platform, something to that effect. And the dude was like, "What do you mean?" He said, "I don't know, we can't get access to it." And then you see the screen right here. I took a picture of the scene. God's eye not detected. And it looks like a satellite, which fits in line with everything that we learned, beginning from the head apostles of Great Millstone on down, the elder apostles, concerning, how Esau, Edom, the so-called Whiteman, and his satellite systems, his tracking systems that he has placed all over the earth. He basically does think that he's the Most High. He does think that he's unto the Most High. That's in the book of Thessalonians. Matter of fact, let me grab it. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 4. I'm going to get straight to the point. "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or God, or that is worshipped, so that he as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High." And what is it talking about? It's talking about the man of sin, because you got to read, you got to get the context starting at the 3rd verse. All right. "And that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition," is going into the so-called white man. Because Apostle Paul, he was speaking about the day of the Lord, the day that when Yahweh Shai comes back. And he was telling you that that day would not come because other prophecies in the Bible, previous prophecies, things of the Old Testament, if you will, things that the prophets spoke and saw in the visions, these things had to come to pass first, which includes a falling away and the man of sin being revealed. So there was a time where he called it, verse 7, "For the mystery of iniquity doth already work." It's a mystery. Who is this man of sin? That's why he would have to be revealed. And who is that man? It's talking about the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, the biblical Edomites, who have power over the earth today. They're also known as the wicked in the Bible. Malachi 1 and 4, Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So what has this man done since he's been in power? He's set up cameras, satellites, etc., tracking devices. Everything is being tracked and traced and listened to. And they got a word for it. It's called surveillance. All right, he has the surveillance over the whole earth, so he thinks that he's the Most High now, which they call that. It's an actual medical condition called, and it's a mental, psychological condition or disease. Because the person that thinks like that, they honestly, they have to be at dis-ease in their mind. They can't be at peace where they think they're the Most High. It's called a God complex. They actually believe that they're the Most High, but in order to believe that you're the Most High, right or wrong, do you not have to first acknowledge that there is a Most High, that there is a God? So if you have to acknowledge that there is God, or the Most High does exist, how the fuck could you be him? which shows you that that is a mental disease. That's literally like the R word. I don't even know if we could say that on YouTube. I'm not even sure. They may try to take the video down for offensive hate speech or whatever, but it starts with an R, ends with a D. I'll let you figure out the rest. All right, they use it as a derogatory term now, but it actually used to be, or probably still is, a medical condition. All right, so once again, this man having all these satellite images all over the earth, all these satellites, where he can look at the planet Earth and zoom in, which also gives him that eagle type of personality, because the eagle bird is a predator bird which flies higher than any other birds, right? And it has acute vision. That's one of the reasons why it could be flying so damn high in the air. You can't even see it, but it could see you. The eagle. And the book of Obadiah tells you that the so-called white man is likened onto an eagle. So all the pieces are coming together. This is just a spiritual tidbit from the movie that the Lord threw in there, and my spiritual ears caught it. So I took a picture of it. I even recorded a piece of the scene, but it's a movie. It's a Hollywood production. I'm not going to put that on my YouTube channel. That's just asking to get banned, But yeah, if you brothers check out the Fast and the Furious movie, you'll see what I'm talking about. God's eye. This devil really believes that he is the Most High, but God's eye is really the angels. And I'm going to get some scriptures on that. Let's go to the book of Proverbs. Is it 15:3? Yep, the eyes of the Lord, Yahweh, are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. So the eyes of the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, is really talking about his angels, which the angels, let me get that. The angels are in what the world calls UFOs. They're how do you say it? They're traveling in so-called UFOs. The Bible calls them chariots. And that's how they go through the earth, and they truly see everything. See, the so-called white man doesn't really see everything. He sees a great deal of things, what's carnal to the physical eyes, but he can't see what's in your mind. He can't read your thoughts. Well, the angels can. I'm going to get some scriptures on this, man. Because that's what they really fear. They really fear the eyes of the Lord. It says in Amos 9:8, the eyes of the Lord are upon the sinful kingdom. You see, and the sinful kingdom is mainly talking about America, but as I'm about to read, 2 Chronicles 16:9, for the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the whole earth, to show himself strong in the behalf of them whose heart is perfect towards him. So the eyes of the Lord are the angels. Once again, the angels are in what the world calls UFOs. And that's how they go to and fro throughout the whole earth and watch everything. They see everything. There's nothing that the angels miss. And I'm going to get that in the Apocrypha. I got to go in a sec too. So I'm going to just read this and close it out. Ecclesiasticus chapter 23 verse 19. Such a man only feareth the eyes of men. That's like the so-called white man. He thinks because we can't see him, and particularly the elites. We're not just talking about any so-called white people. You walking down the street, oh, that's the devil. That's the so-called white man. First of all, you don't even know. I'm talking, you brothers that may newly be coming into this knowledge, and you learning, you listening to the videos. It takes a lot of discernment to really know who's who. And even we can't do it 100%, because that's why the angels got to discern it. There's parables of that in the book of Matthew, the 25th chapter. It's a whole nother topic, dealing with tares and the wheat, and people who appear to be on the outward, they appear to be a so-called white man or Chinese, but they could really be Israelites. So you can't just walk up on any so-called white person and, yeah, you're the devil, you're Esau. You got to use spiritual discernment, all right? You got to have some type of senses exercise to know that there's a lot of so-called white people that are actually Israelites. But when we talking about the devil and they and he and the so-called white man, for the most part, unless we otherwise specify with context, we're talking about the elites of the so-called white man, the so-called Illuminati, the international banking families. They're the top chief of Esau, Edom, the so-called white race, the Edomites. All right, they don't fear the eyes of the most. They only fear the eyes of men. They don't think that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is seeing them and all their secrets are already known. They don't believe that. They know it, but they don't believe it. They have pride. So they think as long as men on the earth don't see them, they having these councils, they talking about these deep things and all of that. They believe as long as men on the planet earth can't see them or hear them, that nobody knows and their secrets are safe. Well, that's a lie. Because it says, and knowing not that the eyes of the Lord are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. See, the sun, right now the sun is out. It's, it's about noonday. The sun is out. There's no clouds really in the sky, so it's bright. But there's still shadows underneath all these trees, underneath the car. If somebody was underneath this car right now, seeing it from the sun's point of view, from an aerial point of view, like a satellite, you wouldn't be able to see them. All right, so even the sun itself, that's so bright and shines light and exposes things that are in the darkness, can't cover all areas. But it says the angels, on the other hand, the eyes of the Lord, are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Meaning what? They can see everything. You can't hide from an angel, man. There's no hiding from an angel, even in your mind. I'm going to read it. It says, beholding all the ways of men. So all your works, all the things you do, outwardly in the flesh, so to speak. And considering the most secret parts, which is what? What is the most secret part of a man? His mind. All right. The thoughts that he's thinking. The things that are said in his head, but you will never hear them. That's the most secret thing. Because a man could be thinking one thing, like Esau, for an example. It says his words were smoother than butter, but in his heart, he was thinking war. That means what? In his heart, meaning his mind, his lab in the Hebrew. His brain, his thoughts, his inner thoughts, his spirit. He's thinking about destroying you, but on the outward, he could say whatever he wants to say. We're here for your help. We're here to help you. We're here to make you safe. You see? So that's the most secret part of a man at the end of the day. That's where the man's true intentions lay, in his mind, in his spirit. And the angels could see that, man. It said, considering the most secret part. So there's nowhere that you can hide from the angels of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, and they know everything. All right, they know what's going on this earth. They know the plans of you wicked elites, and what you want to do. They know the prophecies, just like we know the prophecies. That's why Apostle John, when the angel came to visit him in Revelation, the 19th chapter, on the island of Patmos, the angel said, I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren. All right, that has the will of the Most High, that knows the will of the Most High. So even we, the hopeful elect, the prophets, we know what the angels know to some extent. So that's a spiritual power that we have on the earth, and that's why we're able to catch things like this in these movies and decipher it. You devils are not the Most High, man. You're but men. Your chariots are flesh, they're not of spirit, and you're not the Most High. You're not a god, you're a man. And on the contrary, you're the wicked. You're the seed of the wicked. You're the third part of men that is destined to be destroyed. So with all your so-called great knowledge and wisdom and technology, even that's not going to deliver you from the true eyes of God, or even the power of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai. When Yahushai returns with the angels, that's not going to do nothing for you. You can see Yahushai coming literally 1,000 miles away, or hundreds of thousands of miles away, with his chariots, with his great one big chariot. You could see him coming from the next galaxy, and guess what? You still can't stop him. You still can't do nothing, because that's the will of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, the Creator. He that exists, He is. All right, that's His will. That's what He wants to be done, and that's what's going to be done. All right, so this is nothing but pride, and ultimately this is witchcraft, man. This devil actually believing that he's the Most High, and he has God-like view over the earth, and there was another word I wanted to use, but basically like someone that oversees things, and not only oversees it, but like monitors and I'm gonna just say regulate for the lack of a better word, but yeah, somebody who basically like controls things. They damn, the word is just on the tip of my tongue, but it's not coming out. But you brothers should know what I'm talking about. This devil has no control over nothing, and ultimately he's going to lose. All right, he's going to lose terribly, and we can't wait for that. So with that, I'm gonna close the lesson out. I'm at the camp, so Lord willing, I'll catch you in the next one. Call hello, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.